Right, so this video's not really been scheduled. I haven't done any sort of prep work for it. Just doing a bit of an awareness slash what's going on with me at the minute. For those who know, I'm Swill. I'm Swill Plays. I suppose in this circumstance, just call me Steve. Or Swill, whatever you fancy. Let's face it, I've been called a damn sight worse over the years. So yeah, started about 2 years ago in regards to ADHD and autism. Obviously, a couple of years ago, I moved out of my parents' house to where I am now, with my family and everything. And yeah, there's a few bits that I still haven't brought over my parents' house, as I'm sure we've all got that. But at a box, about 2 years ago, a box came over, say, alot, saw through this. Thought nothing of it, going through some of the stuff. Found a lot of like old school reports. I thought, oh, this will be cute. No, I never enjoyed school. Just put that out there. I never done well in it. Hated the place. Well, places. Probably come to explain that in a bit now. But yeah, looking through them all, something started to come to light that during my younger years in school, like nursery, primary, there'd been signs of ADHD. Constant restlessness and just a load of things just sort of came to light. And I've struggled all my life with being able to comprehend certain ways, certain things, just like why the world works the way it does sometimes. So I don't know, but like today now, 2 years later from that, I've actually got my first initial appointment for ADHD diagnosis. So yeah, I just don't know how to feel about it. I'm a bit nervous, apprehensive about it. But looking into it a bit more as well, it sort of explained a lot about myself as well. It's like why I've struggled all this time during life. It's like I very rarely can sit still. I sometimes have bounds of energy. Can't really pay attention. I am forgetful, and that has got me in trouble in the past, but I just thought it was me. I just thought everyone had the same sort of thing. Like if someone gives me directions and I'll go, yeah, 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 and then, look, it's gone. So yeah. So I'm doing this mostly to like sort of raise awareness more than anything about ADHD and autism and stuff, because on the autism side of things, that came to light on all this paperwork as well. It was all a bit like certain ways I behaved and certain things I said and how my thought process then is like I've noticed for years that I've always been, I suppose a bit like a homunculus, like I'm there, but I'm not. It's like I'm not part of the crowd. I'm not engaging. I'm not mixing in. Yeah. So I think this is gonna be. I think this video now is like sort of the start of the journey of it more than anything. Because I wouldn't mind documenting it and to raise awareness as well, and just try and engage with other people who've gone through similar scenarios in their life as well, just to make sure that I'm not the only one. Really, it's like, yeah. So reading through things here and there is just a lot of it makes sense. Like, well, I mean, I'm put on the spot now. This is why I should really do a bloody script, but yeah. So I got my first appointment for ADHD. I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be honest. Just like, will the psych actually agree, or will he be like, oh no, actually, isn't this? And it's like, all this time I've struggled. It's like I've never been able to commit to anything. I get like a great idea, and I'll indulge in it for like a couple of days. And then just like that, I could be like, as if I never knew about it. Or I could be like an absolute obsession with it, like other things, and I can just genuinely forgetful, like I said. I get, to be honest, I do have the odd mood swing. Like if I'm prepping dinner or something, and say I drop something on the floor, something insignificant, something absolutely, it doesn't matter. It's like I'll have a spike of rage as I pick it up, and then it's like back to normal. And apparently, little things like that can be quite ADHD, autistic traits, like. And it's like, I've always preferred my own company. I've never really, in my younger, late teens, early 20s, I was social enough, I think. But even then, I just never felt like I was part of the group. Like, I always felt like a bit of a sheep. Like I was glass then. I was there in the room, but like I was more of an observer. Like, so yeah, I'm just a little bit nervous about it, to be honest. And I don't know if anyone else has gone through this as well, and maybe needs more talking about it, or perhaps give me some advice on things. Because I have found life tough. I just thought it was what it was, and I'm not whining like. But since 2 years ago, since I found all the paperwork, started looking into things and stuff like that, a lot of it's starting to connect. It's starting to make sense why I've struggled all this time. I never done well in school, and I mean, I know I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I admit that. But then, I feel there's a reason now. And looking at all my school reports from primary and everything, it was always below average, below this, slow to do this, slow to do that. And even with my speech, I know my speech is not brilliant. And apparently that can be an autistic thing. But I think that was part of the reason I started to do YouTube. One, I wanted to learn how it all worked. Like how graphics cards worked, how the software like OBS worked and stuff like that. But as well, I wanted to sort of get out there a bit more, to try and be a bit more conscious about my speech. And try and improve on it, and I think I have. But yeah, it's like all through my life, it's just been an absolute roller coaster. I can't commit to anything. It's like I've never held a job longer than 18 months. Because I see how things are done in certain jobs, and I just don't understand why certain things are done a certain way. In a way, a lot of it is probably institutionalism. Like, it is what it is, dirt. But then I get frustrated then because I'm a bit passionate about it. But then I'm the bucket of arse then, to put it lightly. That thinks that everyone thinks I'm being funny about it, but it's like I'm not. It's just I just don't understand why it is like it is like. And I've lost a lot of jobs like that now, just not understanding the thought process behind some of the things, and no one's willing to explain it because it is what it is. But they think I'm being an arse, but yeah, I mean. So later on now, in about another hour, I got my first ever appointment for ADHD diagnosis. So I'm a little bit nervous. So I mean, I'll try and make this a little bit of a mini-series now, I think, to try and coax myself out of my little box, because I do keep to myself quite a lot. I don't really tend to talk about this sort of thing. I never have, because, well, men, like, you know, we don't really talk about our feelings, really. We're not meant to, supposedly. So I think this is part of that, me trying to be a bit more of a stable human being, I think. And trying to better myself. Like, and if I get it out there now, hopefully it can be talked about a bit more. And perhaps I can feel a bit better as well. And perhaps if I'm raising awareness, then it can be a bit more, yeah, just a bit more like that. So yeah, I mean, I know that this is probably not the most structured introduction to all this, what's going to be going on at the minute, but perhaps I should start doing scripts, but then I'll forget about it. Knowing my luck. So yeah, so if there is anyone else out there as well that has gone through a similar sort of thing, just let me know in the comments. It'd just be nice to be able to engage with other people who may have gone through a similar thing. Because like, I'm in my mid-30s now. So realising this now at this age is like a big almighty penny has dropped. And it's like I'm thinking now through all of my past history, the last 10, 20 years in the world of work or whatever, up until now, and I'm just thinking, maybe if I was treated from an earlier age, how much different could I have been? How much different could my life have been, I suppose? I mean, because like it's like my brain, it just feels like it never turns off. Like when I sleep, I'm always overthinking things prop up and things like that. The thought processes then get quite infiltrative sometimes then, with scenarios and stuff like that, and it's a bit hard, like, you know? But I just feel like we need to start talking about it a bit more, perhaps, just so people haven't got to suffer as much. And I just realised, this camera's getting a bit blurred, so I don't know why that is. Yeah, let's have a look at that, mate. Yeah, that'll do. But yeah, it's like, it's a bit hard. It's been hard. Life's been hard. Like, I feel now, and it is all right. There is a reason for it, but I still got to back up as well. Like, but so yeah. So I mean, perhaps I might make this a bit of a mini series, like on my journey towards my diagnosis or whatever, to try and raise awareness and so on. Like, so yeah, I know this is a bit of a dull one, and nobody's interested probably, but maybe if I actually start scripting what I want to say as well, I might have a bit more structure to the conversation. But yeah, so just to recap, in about another hour, I got my first appointment for ADHD diagnosis. But at the moment in Wales, or maybe the same for the UK, but in Wales there is a 3-year waiting list for autism diagnosis in adults. So that's going to be a long way off, that video is. Let's face it. but even if for now, if I get like the ADHD side of things under control, it might just make my mind a bit more at ease. I can actually rest properly because I've never been able to sleep tidy really. Again, I just thought it was just how we all are, like, just how we're all wired up, like. I never really understood, like. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate this another more structured conversation. Hopefully I'll start doing something about that. And yeah, just join me on this journey, I suppose, as a little side gig on the channel. So yeah, anyway, thanks for listening, I suppose. I suppose I can be open on a mic like this, I suppose, but I can't tell my own partner how I feel sometimes. So yeah, hopefully I can get a bit better at it all soon, and perhaps I can be a better person. So anyway, thank you all for listening. Honestly comment now if you've gone through similar things or whatever, or advice here and there, then yeah, that'd be absolutely fab. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much.